Hey, this is James Pelton. Another video for you today, and I'm really excited about this one. I've definitely learned something about myself. I prefer crazy things to normal things, much to my wife's dismay. But today I want to talk about this game, Crabada. So I just saw all these people on Twitter talking about Crabada, Crabada this, Crabada that. I thought it looked a little silly. The cost to get in was a little high, and so I was like, do I really want to do this? But then I saw enough people talking about it. People said it's the next Axie Infinity, and so I thought, you know what? I better just take a look at it. And it's pretty crazy. The return that you're getting right now is pretty crazy. So let me just kind of show you how it works. So first you get these crabs, okay? And they're NFTs, and they're kind of weird. But you get these crabs and from the marketplace. And then what you can do with these crabs is you send them out on these mining expeditions, which is basically you just click mine, okay? And then they start mining expedition. They go out on these mining expeditions. During the mining expedition, your mining expedition can be looted. So you can either start your own mining expeditions or you can go loot other people's mining expeditions. People are just minding their own business. You send in your team of crabs and you can mess them up and get reward from them. So those are really the two things that you can do right now. Send them on mining missions and loot. And if you win, you get more money. If you lose, you get a little bit less money. One other thing you can do is while you're in this mission, you're on this mining expedition, you get attacked, you can hire a crab from the tavern to be like a reinforcement for you. Okay, so then you have and a team is 3 crabs. And you can go to the tavern and add a 4th crab to beat the battle power of the team of crabs that's coming at you. And you have 30 minutes after they attack you where you can hire a reinforcement, but then they can hire a reinforcement, but then you can hire a second reinforcement, but then they can hire a second reinforcement, okay? So that's how the battles go. And then if you hire 2 reinforcements and you still lose as a miner, they have a new thing that's called Miner's Revenge, where you still, even if you lose the battle and you hire 2 reinforcements, you end up winning the battle. You have like a 20% chance of winning the battle. Okay, so if that sounds complicated, it's really not too bad. One annoying thing right now is that there's a lot of bots. So pretty much if you start a mining expedition, it is always attacked, like instantly. Okay, and it's because there's these bots. And I'm hoping that they're working on this. I've talked about it in their Discord several times, like, hey, can you get a CAPTCHA? There's buttons that say, I am not a bot. That definitely will keep any bots out, I'm sure. And can you put one of those? Because right now, as soon as you start a mining expedition, immediately you get attacked. And I made a little bit of a mistake, you might say. I bought kind of weak because I wanted them cheap. So they always lose. But let me just kind of show you how the numbers work out even with always losing. So the first thing I want to say is that this is not a complete strategy guide on Crabada. I'm always nervous to do a game like this because there's always people who are super into the game who comment and are like, hey, you didn't talk about all the best strategies. And I understand that, okay? I looked into this for several hours. But again, I'm in 50 projects and I'm just kind of looking at, is this a good, decent income producing opportunity, okay? And I'm not going to spend my entire life researching what are the best traits to have on your different crabs. There's other channels, I think, I don't know actually, that might do that. That's not what this is going to be. I want to just get to kind of straight to the numbers here and show you here's what the minimum investment is and here's how much money you can kind of expect to get out, okay? That's what I'm in this for. This is not a game that I would just play for fun. But I'm interested in making a little extra money. So I put in 2 strategies here that you can do. Okay, here's the current price of the Cra coin, and here's the current price of the Treasure Under the Sea token. Okay, and it's up quite a bit right now. But the initial investment for this first strategy is you don't do any mining. All you do is rent out your crab into the tavern. Okay, so your crab is just constantly in the tavern being able to be rented out. And you can your crab can be rented out once every 2 hours. So it can be rented out 12 times a day total. So if you went this initial strategy, you would only need one crab. That's one nice thing about this first strategy. You only need one crab, and right now the cheapest crab is 10,500 tusks. Okay, so that's about $2,850. Okay, if that one gets sold out, 10,800, you're looking at about 2,900. So around 28 to 2,900 would be your minimum investment for this strategy. They're rented out 12 times a day if your price is low enough. So this is the one thing about renting out is the prices can vary. So you see, it's kind of just based on the market and what people need. There's some really expensive ones, which are like really, this is just somebody hoping to get somebody to rent them at that price. You're not probably going to. But you can see right now, if you want to make sure that your crab is rented every 2 hours, I like to go 16. Because then he's going to be on the first page, always rented out. You could bump it up a little bit more, but it doesn't make you that much more money. So let me show you. So if you get rented 12 times a day, that's once every 2 hours. And let's say you make 16 tusks every time. That's $4.34 every 2 hours, which means for the day, you're going to make about 52. You're going to make 192 tusks or $52 is what that equals out to a day. So your monthly profit is $1,500 on a $2,800 investment. So that's a 54% monthly return. Okay, so that's pretty good. And if you raise your price, this is why I don't think it's worth it. If you raise your price to, we'll say 17, you don't actually make that much more money. You only make about $100 a month more. But I imagine you might not get rented out as much. And so you actually end up in the long run making less. So I think it's best to go look at the front page. And I know this is hurting me by making this video because it's going to lower the price as more people put theirs in here to rent. But like, so you could get away with 16.5 probably, and you'll get rented out every 2 hours. Okay, so that's my first strategy. You only need one crab, so it's a lower cost to entry and makes 54% a month. And, people ask me if this is sustainable. I don't know for sure. Another thing people say is this is a Ponzi scheme. How is money coming in? And you know what? I don't want, I'm not going to ban you or anything, but I don't really like for people to talk about, is this a Ponzi scheme? How do they make revenue? Because investing, pretty much all investing, is you are requiring other people to get in at a higher price than you got in at and buy from you at a higher price. Okay. Like, you look at like WhatsApp. Okay. Facebook bought WhatsApp for like $12 billion or something like that. Well, let me look it up so I don't look like a fool. Okay, yes, I was right. About like $16 billion, okay? WhatsApp had zero revenue, okay? So Facebook bought WhatsApp. WhatsApp had zero revenue, but for some reason, Facebook thought they were worth $16 billion, and they definitely were. Instagram was another one. Facebook bought Instagram for $1 billion. Instagram had zero revenue. Okay, so you're not always looking for revenue streams. Axie Infinity is a great example of this. Their market cap is $4.4 billion. Okay, and they don't really have a clear revenue stream. I mean, you might say, well, buying from the marketplace, but that's person to person, but they get a commission on the royalties for selling the NFTs. But you're not always looking for a revenue stream. If enough people get involved, the market cap on Crabada right now is 87 million. Okay, and it's way better. There's more things to do, and it's more fun than Axie Infinity. Okay, they're adding a battle that's very similar to Axie. If you've ever played Axie Infinity, basically you get cards that your character in Axie Infinity can use as an attack. And Crabada is basically, it looks like a copy to me. They're doing the exact same thing. So Crabada 87 million, Axie Infinity 4.4 billion. And look at what happened when Axie Infinity got some adoption. Look what happened to their price, okay? So I imagine Crabada is a better game, in my opinion, and the price has been hanging out here. Once this catches on, with this return on investment, I imagine it will go up, okay? I don't know that for sure. This definitely is not as solid as like a strong note or something like that. But 54%, you get your return on investment in 54 days, and then you're even, and it's just play money after that. So that's strategy one, renting out. You just need one. Strategy two is just going on mining expeditions every 4 hours. And that requires a team of 3. So it's a little bit higher. It'd be 3 times your investment for this. And then you can go out mining every 4 hours. So you could technically, if you woke up in the middle of the night, you could go 6 times a day and make $180 a day, or $5,400 a month, or 64% a month. I did that for a few days. I don't like waking up in the middle of the night. Okay, I get too tired. So I think 5 expeditions. It's still kind of annoying because you have to get on every 4 hours. You have to like set an alarm on your phone and get on every 4 hours. It gets kind of annoying. But it is an option. You could also, you could just buy 3 crabs and put them in here. But again, this price is going to go down as more crabs get put on the tavern. It's probably going to be cheaper as there's more crabs on there. You're not going to be able to charge as much. But these mining expeditions is a second option. Now there are other options. If you don't buy the cheapest crab, if you go to if you find ones with higher battle points, then you could go and experiment with like looting and perhaps actually doing the battles. So the reason I don't do the battles is because, first off, I bought really weak crabs because I didn't really know what I was doing. And when I get attacked, right now I'm in a battle that I'm going to lose. So you get less rewards for losing, but these are the calculations if you lose every time. Okay, if you win every time, you make a lot more money. But I have weak crabs and I get attacked by people with stronger crabs. Then if I hire reinforcements, they just hire stronger reinforcements. And even when I hire reinforcements, I always lose. So I kind of just put in, here's my strategy. I'm just going to go lose every time and still make 53%. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to spend too much time on the platform. So if you want to experiment more with looting and maybe buying stronger crabs, you're welcome to do that. The other thing you can do is there's breeding. Okay? I mean, what game wouldn't be complete without breeding? And breeding is based on the number of times, the cost for it is based on the number of times you've bred before. So if you have 2, we call them, in the crab community, we call them virgin crabs. It means they've never bred before. Then it's right now $2,435 for the materials needed to breed. I don't know why there's materials needed to breed. That's strange. But that's what it is. So then you get an egg, and after 5 days, that egg will turn into a crab that then you could put on the market. So that could be a way to quickly, make, the difference between $2,435 and what you can sell it for would be just profit there, right? Or you'd get another crab has 0 breeding, and then you could, do some more breeding. So there is a whole element to this game, and there's traits. Like some traits are more valuable than other traits, and I didn't really have time to get into all of this about what traits you're looking for. And there's different classes and all these sorts of things. So there's a whole nother element to this game that I haven't even touched on, and I'm not going to in this video. But you could do breeding. The second time you breed, it's not as cost effective. So it costs $4,700, and again, if you get a cheap egg, you're going to end up losing money on that. So if you're going to breed more than once, you want to look through the breeding guide and figure out, hey, why are there some of these that are so expensive? Because if you look at the higher end of things, the highest to lowest price, I mean, some people are selling, I think these O's, these are Origin ones, and these G are Genesis ones, so they're really strong. So, if you get one of these more rare ones, then you definitely could make money through breeding, but you just have to look into that more. This video is not about that side of things. I just wanted to show you mainly this calculator. Buy a crab, rent it out, 54%. Buy 3 crabs, go mining every 5 hours, set a timer for the middle of the night. Be ambitious. 64% return. And just in case you're interested too, how I go about cashing out and how I look at profit and all that. So what I like to generally do is I don't like to have just passive income that's constant. I like to have passive income that's also growing. So I like to split between compounding and then taking out profit. Okay, because I don't want to also some people just keep compounding until eventually the project falls apart and then they end up, I compounded to never have any money, okay? So I like to do a 50-50 approach. So basically my strategy, if I was going to do just one crab, what I would do is I would take this $1,500 a month until I was able to get a second crab, and then I would buy the second crab. So that's going to take you, well, let's see, what's 2850 divided? So it's going to be about 2 months to get that second crab at this initial, if they're 2,800 and you're making 1,500 a month. So I would get that second crab and then take my next 1,500 to, or maybe 3,000 to cash out. So that's probably what I would do as a 50-50 approach. So I do 3,000 initial investment, 3,000 to compound to my second crab, then 3,000 to cash out. Then I'd probably do another 3,000 to get my third crab, but it's going to go faster, right? If I had 2 of these crabs, if I was making twice as much, I'd be making 3,000 a month. And that's the reason I compound first, is because for you to get from 1 crab to 2 crab to $3,000 is going to take 2 months. But then for you to get from 2 crabs to $3,000 to cash out is only going to take 1 month, because now you have 2 crabs going at it, if that makes sense. And then after that, so then I'd take out $3,000. Then I would probably get a third crab, which will take another month. Then you'll have 3 crabs going. So then you could go, maybe switch to this strategy at that point. So this strategy, I'd kind of do the same thing. I have 8,550. This is actually my real thing I'm doing, is I saved up enough to get this 4th crab. Then I have 3 crabs doing this, and a 4th crab making this $1,500 a month. Okay, and then I haven't quite decided. I'm up to 900 or so after that. And I haven't quite decided if I'm going to take out 1,500 then, or get a 5th crab. We'll kind of wait and see what prices are doing then. If I need money, if I don't have anything else to do with the capital, then maybe I will just continue to compound. That's one thing to take into consideration. And then when you're ready to compound, you just go back to Trader Joe, and instead of trading, again, TUS, you're not going to be able to sell anywhere for dollars, but you can trade TUS. You could do something like USDT.E, and then find somewhere to sell that. But what I would do is just trade it back into, the opposite of trading it from AVAX to TUS, trade TUS for AVAX. So if I wanted to trade out, let's do 15,000. So that'll give me 49 AVAX, which is going to be like little less than $500. Okay, and then I would trade it back I would withdraw it in MetaMask back to KuCoin or to Binance, and then you can trade it. You can put it in. Maybe I'd put it in Anchor. Is something that I like to do with when I make money from a project and have extra sitting around, is I go stick it in Anchor where it's kind of safe there. Or send it to Binance and withdraw it out. I've been doing that more recently. I'm going to do another video about this. I'm getting way off topic. So if you're interested in getting started with this project, let me kind of show you how to do that. So the first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to buy a crab, okay? And if all you're going to be doing is renting them out, then you might as well just go with the cheapest to get your return on investment. If you're going to be doing other things, then read through the difference between these battle points and these are mining points. And kind of read. They have a pretty good white paper, and go into the Discord if things don't make sense and ask questions in there. They kind of explain everything in here, but you still might have some questions. And again, I don't want to make this video 45 minutes. And actually, that's just a cover, because I didn't understand everything in here. So I'm covering it up by saying I don't have time to get into it in this video. But anyways, so you're going to need some TUS tokens. So again, you can always go to CoinMarketCap and you can look, hey, where do I get TUS tokens? So this is on the Avalanche network, and pretty much anything on the Avalanche network you're going to be getting on Trader Joe. Okay, that's kind of the official market for Avalanche tokens. So you go over to Trader Joe. So you're going to need some AVAX or something on the Avalanche network to trade for this. So the easiest way is if you just go to Binance. Binance now has AVAX or KuCoin. Again, if I'm using fiat, I always send money into Binance. But if I am just selling something else, like if I cashed out my strong nodes today and then had money, it would be in KuCoin. So just go ahead and buy some AVAX. You can buy AVAX on Binance. You can buy AVAX on KuCoin. Then withdraw it, and make sure you withdraw it to the Avalanche C chain. Okay, and copy your address here, Avalanche. Withdraw to the Avalanche C chain, and then after a few minutes, your AVAX will show up in your wallet. And then you want to switch what you're trading to be TUS, and it's a native token, I believe, on Trader Joe, so you don't have to add it or anything. It should be under there. And then you just want to make sure that you get enough and make sure you buy enough AVAX to cover this amount and plus a little bit for fees and maybe a little bit of overhead. So like if I was going to buy this 2800 one, I'd probably buy $3,000 worth of AVAX just to make sure I covered everything. But then for this one, I would need 10,500 TUS. And sometimes just give it a minute. Okay, because yeah, sometimes it'll say insufficient liquidity and you need to raise slippage. But sometimes if you just give it a minute, it will pop up here. So now there is enough liquidity at the 1% slippage. And remember, slippage you want to have as low as you can because that's just how much difference of a price are you willing to accept between TUS and AVAX. And you don't want very much or else you might end up with less TUS than you thought you would. So it's going to cost 34 AVAX. So this is something you could do when you're buying in KuCoin and Binance is you could go in here first and see, oh, okay, I'm going to need 34.1653 AVAX plus maybe another 0.1 for fees. So you might go into KuCoin now and buy 34.2 AVAX. And then you'll wait for it to get to your wallet. Then you'll come in here and you'll swap it. Make sure not to do max because you want to leave a little bit for fees. But type in the TUS that you need and it'll tell you how much AVAX you need to get that. So you go ahead and swap it. It'll take just a minute. AVAX has very low fees, which is nice. But then you can come in here, connect your wallet, and then you can click on the one that you want, and you can buy. Then it'll take just a couple minutes, but then this crab will go into your inventory. It'll say the owner is you. Okay, it'll have your address there. Then again, the two strategies are you can either, if you buy 3 of them, you can build a team. So you go into here, you create a team. You can have 3 teams by default, and there's ways to get more than that. I know some people who have like 15 crabs, quite a bit of an investment. So I have 4 that I bought, and 3 of them I have on a team, and 1 I have in the tavern. But you create new team. And then you have to go to inventory. And at the beginning, you have to move your crabs from inventory to game. So they'll show up here in inventory. You just click on them and say move to game. And then you create a team and stick your 3 crabs on the team. And then what you're going to have to do every 4 hours, and you have to set an alarm or something. Like you can see this mining expedition's over in 18 minutes. But you're going to click start mining expedition. Okay. And then you'll send out your 3 crabs, and because of the bots, they're going to get attacked immediately. And if you want to mess around with trying to hire reinforcements, usually the bots that attack you are stronger than your team. Okay, that's just the way it is right now. I'm hoping they fix that because the rewards are way higher if you win. Let me see if can I see that? Oh yeah. So a successful, let's see, that's for looting. Yeah, so if you win, you get 303 TUS, and so you get about 3 times as much if you win than if you lose. So again, these numbers in this calculator are with you losing. So if you actually won, you could 3x this, so you'd be making like $500 a day. So at some point, maybe I'll make another video and look into that a little bit more about, hey, I'm gonna buy, because you'd have to spend more on your initial investment to get crabs that are strong enough to actually win. Because my crabs are very weak. Like they're at 616 battle power, and like sometimes I get attacked by like 780 battle power. And then if you hire from the tavern, you can't find any that make up that much ground, basically. So sometime I might make a video with different strategies, but these are the 2 that are working for me right now. And then once this 16 minutes are up, then you're going to click claim reward. You'll get this 106. So you can see this is in like maybe 5 days that I've been doing this. But you'll get this 106. Then you can start another mining expedition. You can get MetaMask on your wallet, or on your phone. And if you use you can connect your wallet to it, and then if you use the browser on your phone, you can actually you can connect your MetaMask to any website through your phone. So that's kind of nice. If I'm just getting on here to send my crabs out, like it's kind of awkward actually. Sometimes I'll be like out to dinner with someone, and I'll be like, "Excuse me for a minute," and I'll act like I'm texting someone, but in reality I'm sending out my crabs on another mining expedition. And timing is important because if it's every 4 hours, sometimes it can be hard to get that 5. You want to make sure you get at least 5 times a day, and it can be hard to time that out. So sometimes I've thought about just doing the tavern method, but for now, this is kind of fun. So if you want to do the tavern method, again, it'll be in inventory, your crab, and you move it to the game. And then you just go to tavern, and then you go to rent it out. And then your crab will be in here. So this is mine. And you can see at 16, he's rented out every 2 hours on the dot because he's always on the first page because I have him at the cheapest price. If you raise the price, you can set the price to be whatever you want. If you raise it so that he's off the first page, and I need to experiment with this a little bit more, but I don't think he'll always necessarily get hired. And it's more profitable to get hired if you miss one hiring because you were charging $1 extra, 1 tuss extra, it wasn't worth it because that's 16 that you missed out on. So you can mess around with that a little bit. And feel free to leave down in the comments below strategies that are working better for you. Again, I don't necessarily claim to have the best strategy. There's not a lot of videos out about this, but I just wanted to approach it from a numbers standpoint. And I think we're early in this game, $87 million market cap. That's pretty early. And I think the sky's the limit for this game. Again, they're going to be doing a play, peer-to-peer fighting element to this. That should be a lot of fun. But yeah, go ahead and try it out. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you like games like this. Again, I always keep my eyes open for just crazy things. I like the look on people's face when I'm like, yeah, I spent $3,000 on a crab. I like the look of shock and dismay on their face. So I'm going to continue looking for these. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you later.